What happens to all the characters in the first season of the amazing digital circus? Which of them will abstract? Which of them will stay? Or which of them will be able to find a way out? Today, I have prepared for you all the possible character developments. I'll also tell you all the hints from the developers about the main character. Also, somewhere in the video, I have hidden for you a code in the form of numbers, and everyone who finds it will get the secret information about the second episode of the amazing digital circus. And I want to start with one of the most controversial characters. A lot of people are saying he'll be abstracted in episode 2, even though he's come a long way already, and that's unlikely to happen. And this is Kinger we're talking about. Personally, I think Kinger will be one of the most useful characters. As we know, he's the most jittery, twitchy, and psychotic character we have right now. He has a good chance of abstracting himself, but I want to touch on the fact that he's likely been in the circus for a very long time. Kinger is 48 years old, which means he's been through a lot. Not to forget that he is also a pretty outgoing character. Zooble once said that she thought Kinger would abstract first. It's almost as if the developers hinted to us that he's going to stay for a few more episodes, or maybe even until the end of the first season. After all, when he's engrossed in a case, talking to Gangle, for example, or saving Zooble, he becomes a perfectly adequate and understandable character. Plus, we know that he was probably a scientist in real life when he mentioned the insect collection. Aside from that, the second hint from the developers was when they released a post asking who else could abstract besides Kinger, as if to hint that he's not next. In the end, I believe that Kinger will stay with us for a long time, to come and help the characters in some obscure situation. Next, I'd like to talk about the doll, Ragatha. What might happen to her in the upcoming episodes of the amazing digital circus? In this example, everything is more unclear and not unambiguous. Ragatha looks for positivity in any case. She tries to focus only on the good, but it does not always help her. Because in fact, she doesn't always see the positive. She believes that there is no need to worry about the digital circus because there is Caine who gives you tasks every day and keeps you entertained. Also, no matter how much Ragatha tries to distract herself, she still has flickering thoughts of quitting, which could turn out badly for her. Plus, in pilot, she was infected by the abstracted, but you can say Caine fixed her. However, based on my theory, once you've been infected by an abstract, there's no chance of a cure. Some unknown process kicks in and starts destroying the character from the inside out. And if that character had any thoughts of coming out, the abstraction happens even faster. Personally, I think Ragatha will stay with us for a while, especially since Gooseworks has informed us that a new character will appear in the new episode. And according to the theory that characters replace each other, that means there's bound to be someone abstracted. And for all intents and purposes, it could be Ragatha. But don't forget that Gooseworks can sometimes tell us things that aren't true. In fact, I think it's kind of weird. In the pilot, we were added Pomni, but in the second episode, there will be a new character again? So maybe they'll just change the splash screen and replace Kaufmo with Pomni, under the pretense that there's a new character. Next, I'd like to break down Gangle. This character is almost beyond comprehension for all of us. We know almost nothing about her, other than the fact that she constantly breaks the mask of comedy. We also know the concept of Gangle's room, and what I noticed in her room is a black mask that looks like the first stage of abstraction. Also, in the early character cosplays, we can see a similar head of a character who is in some stage of abstraction. Perhaps these moments are both related to Gangle herself. She definitely has a chance to abstract. However, I think she'll still be on the show for a while and won't abstract anytime soon. It will probably happen in later episodes. But if Gangle can find happiness and stop being sad, I'm sure she can stay with us till the end. For now, Gangle remains as obscure as possible, and I think we will learn something more about her in the second episode. I think it's time to talk about Zooble. And yes, she is the most misunderstood character, because Zooble herself doesn't even realize who she is, because she doesn't identify herself in any way. As we know, this character has her own box, with different body parts. And I think that in the new episodes of the amazing digital circus, she will constantly change her parts and make something new in her image to find herself and realize who she really is. It seems to me that she has almost no risk of abstraction in the coming episodes, and maybe she'll make it to the end of the season. Plus, if I'm not mistaken, Zooble will be the subject of a third episode. That means that with a 90% chance, she'll be okay in episode 2. Another similarity can be traced between Zooble and Gooseworks, the creator of the digital circus. The author has a character very similar to Zooble on her avatar. Gooseworks herself has stated that Zooble is her favorite character. This means that this character will stay with us for a long time, and the author will remove this character only in an extreme situation. What about Caine and Bubble? As we know, they are artificial intelligences and have been living in an amazing digital circus for a long time. According to Caine, he built this circus himself, but is constantly telling us that he hasn't finished something yet. I believe that Caine and all the NPCs he has created could cause some serious problems for our characters. If the characters find a way out, Caine will start stopping them in every way he can. He will create NPCs. It's possible that he will open a basement with Abstract, because Caine is programmed to not let the characters out of the digital circus and to overpower them if the characters have thoughts of escape. So even though Caine seems like a kind character to us, he may actually be a major enemy to us. So before we start escaping from the amazing digital circus, we need to find a way to bring down Caine's settings so that he doesn't interfere with our characters. Lastly, I left the most interesting characters, which are Jax and Pomni. I'd like to start with Jax. And yes, he is the most favorite character for most people. He is popular for his personality and charisma. Jax believes that he is the only one who is cool, and everyone else is just a loser. On the other hand, he needs a community to take energy for himself and assert himself with the help of others. In future episodes, I think he'll stay that way. However, there could be a turning point that completely changes Jax for the better. He doesn't have bad thoughts. He's completely sure of himself. At least he shows it that way. However, it is still possible to scare Jax. For example, when he saw the abstracted Kaufmo, he immediately ran away because he started to get scared. And a little later, you can see the anxiety on his face. Exactly what kind of situation will be able to change Jax's mind? I don't know exactly. But it could be a generalized Dandrew situation. Or it could be a situation where Jax needs help and he can't help himself. My guess is that there won't be any such situations anytime soon, and Jax won't be abstracted in the coming episode. Now it's time to talk about Pomni. As we understand, she has never been to the circus before, and how she got here is also unknown. Perhaps someone put her in the amazing digital circus on purpose, but I believe Pomni got here for a reason. Her future destiny is likely to be to take risks and save all the characters in the amazing digital circus. She is the one who will most likely bring everyone together, and the characters will go looking for a way out of this place. Right now, Pomni is as unstable as possible and is constantly thinking of a way out, and I'm sure she will find it. Or maybe she already has in pilot. I think Pomni will stay with us for the rest of the series, and throughout the series, she will be looking for a way out, relying on any hints and clues. One of the most important will be to take out Caine, because he will be the most important enemy, and it is Pomni and her team who must make every effort to destroy the program of the digital circus. What theories do you have about the future of the characters? Were you able to find a passphrase in this video? And if so, be sure to leave a comment. Also, don't forget to give this video a like and subscribe to my channel. Good luck to everyone and bye-bye.